Hi there everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. It is episode 76, another Facebook live show for you. We've got 3 quiz rounds coming up. I've just finished my TikTok live show and so now I'm on to my Facebook live show. If you're not aware of that, there is a link in the description which will take you through where you can find all of the things I do across social media. And so this evening's Facebook quiz will be starting in a few minutes time. I'm just going to wait to see who can join for the live show this evening before I do make a start with the first few questions. One of my children, I think it's going to be Abby this evening, will come and ask the first question to kick off the show, as I like to do. But after that, we'll be into the 3 subjects for this evening. So we've got a connections round to start with, which will be general knowledge trivia with a common theme connecting all of them. Then we're going to do around the UK. Which is a bit of a geography kind of question around. And then finally, we're going to do a toys and games quiz round as well to finish off the evening. I also post a picture round after each quiz I do here on Facebook. And that picture round will be an Olympics logos round. I'll explain more about that later on in the evening. I did announce it already over on my TikTok, but many of you won't have seen that yet. So what I will do is I'll tell you all about it before I post it after the show. So, hi to anyone and everyone that's in the comments or anybody that's watching along now. If you're watching a repeat of this, do still leave me a comment. I always like to know who's watching and playing along at any time, and I'll come in and comment wherever I can as well. So, let me just do that. Let me get into the comments and see who's here to say hello. Hi to Diva, my CEO of merch. Hope you're doing well. How you're coping with the weather. It's absolutely roasting, isn't it? I've heard it's been quite stormy London way though, so maybe the storms are coming and things will cool down. Hi there to the Blackpool Bar Stewards. Scorchio, they say. Absolutely. Yes, Eric and Chris, welcome along. Glad you could be here. Britzillians are back, are they? Vernia's in the chat. She says, we are back. Hello all. Absolutely. And Sue of the donuts melting as well. Do you know, I did have a fan here keeping me cool for most of the day because this is where I sit for my day job as well. But of course, it's not my fan. It was a fan from one of the bedrooms and my daughter needs it. I've used hers. She's had to take that back. So when she goes to bed, she's got a fan, which means I'm going to be sat here all evening without one now. So wish me luck. And I apologise if I start sweating. Yeah, Diva says not a fan of this weather. No, quite right. We don't mind it warm. We don't mind it cool. But we don't like it hot. And I've seen a lot of people online from overseas moaning about how we're always moaning it's too hot because we can't handle the heat when it's nothing compared to the heat overseas. But it's a little bit different over here. We're not built like that. We're not used to that kind of weather, so we're not built that way. And neither are our houses, let's be honest. They're all made of brick. So anyway, that's enough of me waffling on. Good evening to Luke and Jane, who are both joining us this evening. And even the Brazilians are complaining from our Brazilians team. I bet we're just not used to it over here, are we? So yeah, that's it. I do have Abby here with me though. She's going to be asking a question to start the show off as she normally does on our Tuesday night quizzes. And so once that's happened, we will go straight into a connections round. Good evening to Andy. Thank you for joining. Again, apologies I was a few minutes late starting again. It's sometimes going from my TikTok live, getting ready for this one and making sure Abby's got a question ready to ask everybody. Takes a little bit of time. But anyway, I'm glad you could all be here. Let's bring Abby in to ask a question. Here it is. Look, I've written it down for you. Everybody say hi to Abby. If you don't know, this is my daughter. She's come to say hello and ask a question. Martin says, good evening, Chris and everyone. Let's get quizzical -1 in the house. Just me tonight. Oh, I'm glad you could join us, Martin. And Catherine says, evening from our very hot flat. We are melting. Well, I'm glad you could all be here and we can all melt together, yet separately.
I'm going to be melting even more upstairs.
At least you've got your fan. I've put it out there. It's not here anymore, is it? Here's the question though. Speaking of the temperature, and you need to write 1, 2, or 3 in the comments for your guesses, please, because you'll get 3 choices from this question Abby's going to ask. Did Mummy tell you what we agreed on?
Yeah, but I don't know the answer.
No, you don't need to know the answer because I'm going to highlight it for you there. So your question then, Abby's going to read it. I will put it in the comments as well. Is connected to the temperature. John McDonald's in the comments, he says that David Hay answer was great. Oh, you were watching the TikTok live. Yes, I'll talk about that in a bit. So we'll do Abby's question and then we'll crack on. So the question from Abby is...
What temperature is centigrade and Fahrenheit the same?
What temperature is... Say the question again.
What temperature is centigrade and Fahrenheit the same? Is it A minus 40, B minus 20, or C minus 30? That one's a mouthful.
It was. So what temperature is centigrade and Fahrenheit the same? Minus 40, minus 20, or minus 30? 1, 2, or 3? Minus 40, minus 20, minus 30. What do you think is the temperature where they are both the same? Maybe I should have said A, B, or C. I just wrote it down very quickly. But yeah. A minus 40, B minus 20, C minus 30. You can put either or though in the chat. We've got some guesses coming in. Chris is straight away in there with a B, as is Jew. Andy's gone with A. Vernia's gone with C. Catherine says 3 or C again. Minus 20 is a guess there from Chris. Sue from the Donuts, that have gone with A. They think it's minus 40. We'll let you continue guessing while we reveal who got it right the fastest. So have a look on this screen.
I can't see the phone.
You can't see because the phone's in the way. I'll show you one here, look, in that case. This one, look. Read out this person's name.
Andy.
Andy's got it right because Andy's got it right the fastest because the correct answer is this one. Tell everybody.
Minus 40.
Minus 40. That's the temperature where they are both the same. Oh, it feels like it's a lot hotter than that right now, doesn't it?
It feels like it's a minus 100. It's a 100 degrees.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to crack on then with the rest of the quiz. Say goodnight to Abby, everybody. Love you. And
Bye.
I'll see you in the morning, okay? So then, guys, the first round we're going to do is a connections round. Thank you all for your comments, as always. I will be passing it on to her. We always have a look at the comments and things that we get throughout the show. So thanks for that. Your first round, though, is a connections round. What that means is I'm going to ask you 9 general knowledge trivia questions, okay? And then I will follow it up with a 10th one asking you what the connection is between the answers from 1 to 9. So some of these can be typically a bit tricky. I'd like to remind you all that throughout the evening there are 3 quiz rounds and it won't all be as tough as this, okay? But this is just the first round we're doing tonight. So let's make a start, shall we? Question number 1. Which celebrity chef hosted his kitchen wars on UK TV? Which celebrity chef hosted his kitchen wars on UK TV? Make a note of these answers. You don't put these in the comments anymore. It's only that Abby's question that you put in the comments. For these ones, you make a note of them yourself, and then you can mark your own answers once we've gone through them and I reveal the answers to you. And all you need to do is put in the comments what your score is, okay? For the benefit of those of you new who are joining us. No more answers in the comments, please. Which celebrity chef hosted his kitchen wars on UK TV? Question number 2. Which English professional wrestler was known as the Dulwich Destroyer and the man you love to hate? That's a random one, isn't it? Which English professional wrestler was known as the Dulwich Destroyer and the man you love to hate? And also shares his name with a... I think I'm going to give you an extra clue because that is a tough one. That is a really tough one, isn't it? So I'm going to give you another clue on this one. Shares his name with a singer who was on Pop Idol in 2003. In fact, it was the winner of Pop Idol in 2003. A Scottish singer at that. So there you go. There's an extra clue for you. English professional wrestler known as the Dulwich Destroyer and the man you love to hate also shares the surname with a Scottish singer who won Pop Idol in 2003. There you go. See how you do with that one? Again, all the answers have a connection. You need to work out what that is. Question number 3. Whose eyes did Kim Carnes sing about? Whose eyes did Kim Carnes sing about? That's your third question. Yes, if you missed the TikTok quiz earlier on, it was another Family Fortunes round that we did. So our survey says kind of questions, and there were some very good guesses. They did very well. All helping Millie out, one of my TikTok friends. It was very good. Good fun as always. Right, question 4 for you then. Question 4. Name the female MP who founded the SDP with David Owen, Roy Jenkins, and Bill Rogers. Name the female MP who founded the SDP with David Owen, Roy Jenkins, and Bill Rogers. Another tricky question there. I'm not sure how I could narrow that one down for you. So we'll see how you go. What I do find with these rounds is, as we go through them, if you're not sure on what the answer is, but you get what the theme is from answering the other questions, it might help you work out what the clue is needed for that particular one. So if you don't get one, have a think about it once you work out what the theme is. If you even work out what that is, you do get extra points if you do. If you get the theme correct, you get 5 bonus points. Question 5. Which song from The Wizard of Oz went to number 2 in the UK charts following the death of Margaret Thatcher? Question 5 again. Which song from The Wizard of Oz went to number 2 in the UK charts following the death of Margaret Thatcher? So that's question 5. You've got 4 more questions to go, and then the 5th one will be asking you what the connection is, okay? So question number 6. Who replaced John F. Kennedy as President of the United States of America? Who replaced John F. Kennedy as President of the United States of America? The clue I'll give you for this one is it's another president similar to John F. Kennedy in terms of their name is first name, initial, surname that they're known as, okay? So think of another president that's known by the same kind of format of their name. Who replaced John F. Kennedy as President of the United States of America? Your next question is actually for 2 points. Question number 7. What do the initials L and S stand for in Winston L.S. Churchill's name? What do the initials L and S stand for in Winston L.S. Churchill's name? Two more questions then before you need to work out what that connection is. Question number 8. Which character taught Eliza Doolittle to pass off as a duchess in My Fair Lady? Which character taught Eliza Doolittle to pass off as a duchess in My Fair Lady? That film, I've only watched it once, but the film is so long, it genuinely has its own interval halfway through. There's a title card that comes up where the interval was when it was originally released. And it's still there if you watch it today. There you go. I can't think of any other film that I've seen that's so long it has its own interval card. Obviously it was made a long time ago. So yeah, little random fact for you. Question number 9. Which actress was the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and also portrayed Princess Leia in the Star Wars movies? Which actress is the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and was the actress who portrayed Princess or General Leia Organa, you should say, in the Star Wars movies? Ju says, I went to see it in the theatre and I fell asleep. It's a long story. Yeah, you've got to really be into your musicals. Like, really be into your musicals to watch that all the way through. It's got some great moments to it, some classic moments. Again, if you like your musical theatre. I've not seen the stage show, though, admittedly. I've only seen the film once. Right, question number 10 then is quite simply, what is the connection? So, have a look at the answers that you've got, and think about the names that are there, because there is a connection across all of them. So I'll give you some time to think about it. Let me know if you want any questions repeated as well. As regular viewers will know, I always repeat questions. Maddie, you missed 1 to 4. I will rattle through those quickly for you because I know that people will want a bit of thinking time on some of these. So question 1 was, which celebrity chef hosted his kitchen wars on UK TV? Which celebrity chef hosted his kitchen wars on UK TV? Question 2 was, which professional wrestler, English professional wrestler, was known as the Dulwich Destroyer and the Man You Love to Hate, and also shares their surname with a Scottish singer that won Pop Idol in 2003? Tracy says, hi, Fantastic Four are here. We missed number 1, so I've just repeated that. You're all right. Welcome along. Right, so question number 3 again was, whose eyes did Kim Carnes sing about? And question 4 was, name the female MP who founded the SDP with David Owen, Roy Jenkins and Bill Rogers. Emily says, sorry I'm late, I had to go to Tesco's. Well, priorities. Was it to get supplies in because it's so hot right now? My goodness me. I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy another fan to go in here. I really am. I don't want to because the prices all went up as soon as the temperature did. Oh, we shall see. All right, so those are repeats for you of questions 1 to 4. This is only round number 1, so don't worry about those of you who are joining us late. There's 2 more quiz rounds to go. Not a problem at all. And you can always go back and watch this another time because I always post the videos. All 76 episodes of Big Quiz Night In are on the Facebook page for you to watch anytime you're bored and you want something to pass the time. Not to mention all the picture rounds. Emily says, I needed food after the TikTok quiz. Haha, to fuel the Facebook quiz. I love the commitment to the cause. Thankfully, we managed to have our dinner before I came onto the TikTok quiz, but only just. Thank you so much for following on, though, from it. That's brilliant. Right, I'm going to go through the answers, I think, for this round, because no more repeat requests have come in. So let's see how well you did, and to see if anybody got the final one right. So because number 7 is a 2-pointer, that means that the maximum score possible in this round is 15 points, because question 10, what's the connection between those previous 9 answers, is worth 5 points, okay, if you get the connection exactly right. Question 1, the celebrity chef who hosted Kitchen Wars was Marco Pierre White. Question 2, the English professional wrestler who shares the name with a Scottish pop idol singer, is Mick McManus. Shares the name with Michelle McManus. Question 3, whose eyes did Kim Carnes sing about? That was Betty Davis' Eyes. How many of you know the song now but didn't know it was Kim Carnes who sang it? It's a great song, classic. Question 4, the female MP who founded the SDP was Shirley Williams. Question 5, the song from The Wizard of Oz that went to number 2 in the UK charts following the death of Margaret Thatcher. Only in the UK could something like that happen, I think. It's hilarious in a way. It's Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Yep. Question 6, who replaced John F. Kennedy as President of the United States of America? That was Lyndon B. Johnson. See what I mean, though, with John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, follows the same format, middle initial. Question 7, what do the initials L and S stand for in Winston L.S. Churchill's name? It is Leonard Spencer. 1 point for each of those that you got right. Question 8, the character from My Fair Lady that taught Eliza Doolittle to pass off as a duchess was Henry Higgins. Henry Higgins. There's a little bug flying in this room and it's doing my head in. Question 9, which actress is the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and was also Princess Leia or General Leia Organa from the Star Wars movies? It's the late, great Carrie Fisher. Gone too soon. And question 10 then, what is the connection? So from all of those answers, the important bits were White, McManus, Davis, Williams, Ding, Johnson, Spencer, Higgins and Fisher. The answer is snooker stars. Jimmy White, Alan McManus, Steve Davis, Mark Williams, Ding Junhui, Joe Johnson, John Spencer, Alex Higgins, and Alison Fisher. So if you put snooker stars, very well done. Let me know how you got on. Tally up your scores. Put your scores in the comments along with your pub quiz team name if you have got one of those. Just for fun, of course. It's just a bit of fun for me to read out. And whilst you're doing that, I'll just share the first link that I like to share throughout the quiz, which is the following. There are 2 different ways you can support me and what I do here at Big Quiz Night In. And one of which is to support a charity that I follow and do a bit for, called Secret Santa 365. They provide a lot of, at the minute, they're still doing this, laptops for learners. They're still doing that. So they're helping out young families and people who have struggled through the pandemic by giving them devices to help them with their learning from home and things like that. But they also provide the gift of giving all year round, and they help lots of kids in hospitals and stuff. So yeah, if you fancy being generous and giving to charity, then please have a look at that link. It's in the description, along with another link which I'll share later on that a lot of you are familiar with. Here comes some amazing scores then. 13 points for Diva. Amazing. Donuts have got themselves 10 points. Well done. Fantastic Four scored 14. Didn't know both of Churchill's names. I mean, that's still an incredible score. Well done. G-Force have got 15 points. Absolutely smashed it. Andy says, as Yaz would say, the only way is up. 5 for Back in Black. That's no problem. 9 for the Blackpool Bar Stewards. We didn't get the connection. Oh, that's so unfortunate. You would have been so close then. Luke says he and Jane got 8 points and 13 from the Melting Pot as well. That's a good team name for tonight. Yeah, I think we're all feeling that right now. Feel free, if there's anybody else watching, you want to put scores in the comments. You don't have to. No pressure. It's just for fun. No shame here either, no matter what your scores are. Gabby's got 10 points. Very well done. You can keep putting them in the comments. Even if I've started the next round, I'll read them out. And if you're watching a repeat, then I will, of course, acknowledge that by responding to your comments as well. Yes, Steve is confirming that she loves that song by Yaz, The Only Way Is Up. Yes, it's a floor filler, even still today, I'd imagine. 10 points for the Britzillians. Very good indeed, a very good score. Round number 2 is around the UK. So this is going to be a geography kind of round based on the United Kingdom. Okay? So, and again, for those who don't know, I do change the subjects all the time. Every single week when we do these quizzes, 3 different subjects. You might get similar themed rounds, but they're always different. So yeah, I do try and mix it up as much as I can. So yeah, always something different here. And the picture rounds as well, always changing them up. So there's always plenty to do here. If you don't follow the page already, please do so. Lots of fun to be had here, right? Okay, so let's do round number 2 then. Same again, make a note of the answers, just like you did in the last round. And we will see how well you did at the end. I can do any repeats as well, but I'll save them till the end as well. Question number 1, in round 2, around the UK, which English county has 2 separate coastlines? Which English county has 2 separate coastlines? Really interesting question. It's also one of those ones that when you realise what it is, it's really obvious what it is, I think. But it takes some thinking, I think, to get to that point. But which English county has 2 separate coasts? Question number 2. In which area of Edinburgh is the Scottish Parliament building based? In which area of Edinburgh is the Scottish Parliament building based? Those flies have been bugging me all day. It's the weather, isn't it? In which area of Edinburgh is the Scottish Parliament building based? That is question number 2. Question 3. In which UK city was the Titanic built? In which UK city was the Titanic built? Question number 4. Question 4. Which famous landmark is housed within London's Elizabeth Tower? Which famous landmark is housed within London's Elizabeth Tower? That's question 4 then in the Around the UK round. Question number 5 for you then. Question 5. Which is the longest motorway in the United Kingdom? Which is the longest motorway in the United Kingdom? We've got some multiple point questions coming up. So question number 6 is the first of those. 1 point for each correct answer. Question number 6. What are England, Scotland and Wales's highest mountains? What are England, Scotland and Wales's highest mountains? 1 point for each. Just going to shut the door, guys. Bit of background noise there. Apologies for that. So for 3 points again, the highest mountains in England, Scotland and Wales, 1 point for each correct answer. You don't have to say which one's which if you're not sure, because I mean I won't know anyway if you wrote them differently, but just name the 3 highest mountains. Just the 1 pointer for number 7, but then we're back on to plenty of multiple choice questions for the rest of this round. So for question 7, whereabouts can you find Her Majesty's Prison, Parkhurst? Whereabouts could you find Her Majesty's Prison, Parkhurst? Okay. Now we're on to a couple of 2 point questions. So question number 8 for 2 points. Which celebrity couple were married in Scotland's Skibo Castle back in December 2000? Which celebrity couple were married in Scotland's Skibo Castle in December 2000? 1 point for each. I think that's one of those questions where if you get one of them right, you should probably have got the other one right as well. Let's see how you go. Back in December 2000, which celebrity couple were married in Scotland's Skibo Castle? Question number 9 is another 2 pointer. So question 9, what are Wales's 2 national emblems? What are Wales's 2 national emblems? You might see them on the back of coins, for example. Just to give you a bit of a clue, everyone's like rushing through to see if they've got any coins and change in the house right now. Guess with the way things have been lately, not many people are using much cash either these days, are they? But anyway, they would still be on the back of coins. At least one of them would be. Question 10 is another 2 pointer. The Dartford Crossing connects which 2 counties? The Dartford Crossing connects which 2 counties? Again, 1 point for each. Plenty of time to repeat questions. If you need some more time, as always, I'll keep reminding you, but we'll repeat questions at the end. Question 11 is about cheese. Love a bit of cheese. To be proper Stilton, the cheese must be produced in one of which 3 counties? To be classed as a proper Stilton, that cheese must be produced in which one of 3 counties? So that's question 11. 4 more questions to go. Question 12. What is the Welsh word for Wales? What is the Welsh word for Wales? As long as your spelling of it is close enough, then you can give yourself a point. You be the judge on how close that is. Again, because I can't see what you've written down. But be honest, okay? As long as you're close enough. What is the Welsh word for Wales? And you can judge me on if I pronounce it right as well. I think I've said this enough times through pub quiz hosting over the years. I think, he says, to remember how to pronounce it. We'll see. Question 13 is for 3 more points. Name the largest lake in area in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Name the largest lake in area in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. 1 point for each again. Once again, you don't have to match each one to each country, just in case you were wondering. Just name the 3 largest lakes, one in each of those countries. Question 14, another 2 points. Which 2 counties in Northern Ireland begin with the letter A? Which 2 counties in Northern Ireland begin with the letter A? That is your penultimate question in the Around the UK quiz round we're doing this evening. Which 2 counties in Northern Ireland begin with the letter A? 1 point for each. One more to go then for this round, and then we'll do any repeats that you need. Question number 15. The Romans named which English cities Londinium, Aquasullis, and Eboracum? The Romans named which English cities Londinium, Aquasullis, and Eboracum? 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 Eboracum. Okay. There we go then. So that is the end of that round. Let me know if you want any questions repeated. If I've gone through it too quickly for some of you, you want a bit more thinking time, just name the questions you want me to repeat in the comments. And then we'll go through the answers in just a moment. I should also remind you at this time, before I share the next link I normally share, next week is Patreon quiz night. Patreon quiz night will be next week, and that will start at 8:30. So I won't be doing Facebook Live. The last week of every month I do a quiz just for my Patreon followers, so that's on Google Meet, not Facebook Live. So I won't be here next week for you guys on Facebook. But if you'd like to join that in, you can check out my Patreon using the link I'm about to share. And for those who support me there at any level, it's all right. Sorting out ice packs because it's that hot. I'll share the link for you in just a moment then, while you get your requests in for any repeats of questions. Here we go. There we go. I assume you're all having a good think about that then, because I'm not getting any requests for repeats in. So behind that link that I've just shared there in the comments, you'll find everywhere that I'm available across social media. Okay? Not just Patreon, but that's where it is if you need it. Got ice packs and frozen face masks and all sorts to cool everybody down. Man alive. And none of it's working. No, not for long anyway. So yes, let's go through the answers then, because it looks like nobody needs a repeat of that one. You are all on form tonight, I'm sure. So here we go with the answers to the Around the UK round, and then we'll go on to round 3, our toys and games round. Question 1, which English county has 2 separate coasts? It is Devon. Devon has 2 separate coasts. Question 2, in which area of Edinburgh is the Scottish Parliament building based? That is Holyrood. Question 3. In which UK city was the Titanic built? It was built in Belfast. Question 4. The famous landmark that's housed within London's Elizabeth Tower is Big Ben. The bell inside the tower is called Big Ben. The tower itself is Elizabeth Tower. Question 5. The longest motorway in the United Kingdom is the M6. Question 6. What are England, Scotland and Wales's highest mountains? It is Scafell Pike, Ben Nevis and Mount Snowdon for 3 points. Question 7. Whereabouts could you find Her Majesty's Prison Parkhurst? That is on the Isle of Wight. Question 8. Which celebrity couple were married in Scotland's Skibo Castle in December 2000? It was Madonna and Guy Ritchie. Question number 9. What are Wales's 2 national emblems? They are a daffodil and a leek. Question 10. For another 2 points, the Dartford Crossing connects which 2 counties? That is Kent and Essex. Question 11. To be a proper Stilton, the cheese must be produced in which of these 3 counties? Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. Question 12. What is the Welsh word for Wales? It is Cymru. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sorry if it's not. Cymru is how you spell it, though. Cymru, I think that's how you say it. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Question 13. Name the largest lakes in England, Scotland and Northern Ireland. We have Lake Windermere in England, Loch Lomond in Scotland, and Loch Neagh, Neagh, in Northern Ireland. Is it Neagh? Is that how you say it? Neagh. Question 14. Which 2 counties in Northern Ireland begin with the letter A? They are Antrim and Armagh. Armagh. And finally, question 15. Londinium, Aquasullis and Eboracum are London, Bath and York for 3 final points in that round. Tally up your scores. I can repeat any of those if you need me to. Again, just let me know in the comments. And let's see how well you did. Leave your scores there with your team names. And we can move on to the 3rd round of the evening. So let's see how well you did. It's all gone very quiet. You must be thinking, must have been thinking long and hard about that round. See how well you did, though. Now, there was something else I was going to say. Yes, I'll tell you about, in a moment, I'll tell you about the handout round, the picture round I'm going to share afterwards. As the scores are now coming in, I'll do that after this. So, we have got the Blackpool Bar Stewards, 16 points, says Eric. Very good. 17 points for Diva. Fantastic Four have got 19 points. Yaz was right. Back in Black have got 20 points. That's an excellent score. The Donut score, 16. Think the heat has got to us. 16 from the Melting Pot as well. I mean, you're doing better than I would have done if I didn't have the answers in front of me. Luke says 11 points. Emily says my score was embarrassing. Don't worry about it. We celebrate with those who do well and we commiserate with those who don't do so well. So it's no problem at all. You've learnt something new anyway. Martin says 20 points for Let's Get Quizzical. Again, another good score. Gabby's got 19 points. Excellent, well done. And the Britzillians have got 19 points. Liz says, good Evans, 22 points. Excellent, well done. I think that's the highest score we've seen so far for this round. But some very high scores there, yes, coming in. Good job, well done. Keep those scores coming in if you want to share them, if you haven't done so already. Thanks again for the turnout this evening. I haven't had as many different devices, I say, watching, because I know there's more of you in the houses watching. But the numbers have not been this high for maybe a couple of months, actually. I went to say weeks, but no, it's been probably a couple of months. So I really appreciate that you're choosing to spend your evening with me, and I hope I brought a bit of fun into your house tonight. G-Force are, of course, smashing it with 26 points. Maddie, is it just you this evening? Have you got your team with you? I forget now who you normally play with. I should remember these things. Ant, that's a very good score. Well done. Ant says, looking 3 Welsh and Irish, spot on, Cymru. I'm not going to read the rest of that because I will embarrass myself and get it wrong. Yeah, but I got it right. So that's the important thing. I do try, I do, and I'm very sorry if it doesn't work, but I do try. Okay, so keep the comments coming in though. Let's keep that conversation going. Okay, I don't mind what we chat about here. It's just about having some fun, isn't it? Yeah, Cymru spot on. Okay, thank you. That makes sense now. Yeah, I'm still not going to try and say it though. So toys and games is round number 3. So this is going to be things like board games. It's not just. I'm not meaning computer games or video games. Although I would love to host a round on video game trivia. Don't get me wrong. There won't be too much of that in this round because I know it's not for everybody. Try and keep things more general and safe. Maddie says, just me. Alison had a bereavement. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do pass on our love. Maddie, that's very sad, but I'm glad you could be here anyway, and you've obviously done very well with 26 points. Yes, so sending our love that way though, that's very sad. All right, on to happier things. Toys and games, same rules apply. Keep the answers to yourself. Again, for those of you who are new, this round is the same as the others, just a different subject. So here we go with another 15 questions and our last round of the evening, of the live show at least. Question 1. How many dice are rolled in the game of Yahtzee? How many dice are rolled in the game called Yahtzee? Okay, question number 2. Which food item inspired the video game Pac-Man? Which food item inspired the video game Pac-Man? Easy when you know the answer. Question number 3 is for 3 points. What colours are the cook, the scientist, and the soldier in the game of Cluedo? Or Clue for our American friends. I believe they have the same names. Don't hold me to that, but certainly in Cluedo. What colours are the cook, the scientist, and the soldier in the game of Cluedo? 1 point for each. Okay, so that's a 3-pointer. Question number 4 is also a 3-pointer. Ooh, sorry about that. Question number 4. Which comes first on the Monopoly board? Chance or Community Chest? Apologies, it's the next question. It's a 3-pointer. Which comes first on the Monopoly board for question 4? Chance or Community Chest? This is a traditional British Monopoly board. Is it Chance or Community Chest? Now, question 5 is for 2 points. Question 5 is for 2 points. So, which 2 tiles in Scrabble are worth 8 points? Which 2 tiles in Scrabble are worth 8 points? I haven't played Scrabble in ages. I used to play Words with Friends a lot on my phone. Again, I haven't played that in a long time either. I might get back into that though, maybe. Because I do so much posting on social media for the quiz stuff, I don't tend to play any games on my phone, really. I'm either on social media if I'm on my phone or nothing. Funny how your life changes, isn't it? Yeah, I used to like playing that though. So for 2 points, which 2 tiles in Scrabble are worth 8 points? Having said that, I do play a lot of Pokemon Go. There is that. We should probably have a conversation about that if anybody else plays. I know Tracy does at least. In fact, it's both of you, I think, isn't it? I need to sort that out. We spoke about that, didn't we, before? Question number 6. The phrase "back to square one" originated from which board game? The phrase "back to square one" originated from which board game? This is an interesting question. I never knew this. Question number 7. There's a snake in my boot is a phrase spoken by which toy? There's a snake in my boot is a phrase spoken by which toy? Question number 8 is another multiple point question. This one's for 3 points. Back onto video games now. Very well known ones though, I think. Certainly I would say 2 of the 3 very gettable, even if you're not a gamer. But again, no shame if you don't know. They're only easy if you know the answer. For any question, isn't it? Question 8. In which best-selling video games could you first meet the characters Link, Princess Peach, and Nathan Drake? In which best-selling video games could you first meet the characters named Link, Princess Peach, and Nathan Drake? Yes, you're both Pokemon addicts, Tracy says, and they had a busy weekend. Yeah, I caved. I did pay for the Pokemon Go Fest ticket thing, and I did make the most of it. Yeah, we played a lot of it over the weekend. And we're very successful. It won't mean anything to many other people watching. I know Sarah, if you're watching, you play as well. Maybe a few others. I don't know who are watching right now. But I did manage to catch a shiny Moltres, which was most exciting in these sad little world of us Pokemon Go players. That was very cool. That was the best it got for me. I did get other legendaries, but that was very cool. I like that. How many shinies did you get if you played? Let me know. Okay, next question then. Back onto the important stuff. Question 9. What nationality is Erno Rubik, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube? What nationality is Erno Rubik, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube? Okay. Next question then. Question number 10. Since 1959, Barbie has had relationships with which 2 male dolls? 1 point for each. Since 1959, Barbie has had relationships with which 2 male dolls? Yes, 2. This is another one of those classic pub quiz questions. In that genre, I class as classic pub quiz questions. Which 2? 1 point for each. I think most people would be familiar with one of them. The other one, not so much, which is why I say it's a classic pub quiz question. Question 11. What colour was the original Play-Doh? Was it red, white or blue? Multiple choice there for you. What colour was the original Play-Doh? Was it red, white or blue? Okay, question number 12 is for 3 points. Which 3 board games were marketed as The Game That Ties You Up in Knots, A Game of Global Domination, and The Game of Unspeakable Fun? For 3 points, which 3 board games were marketed as The Game That Ties You Up in Knots, A Game of Global Domination, and The Game of Unspeakable Fun? So 3 points there for that one. Question number 13 now. Question 13. Which geometric drawing toy that produces mathematical roulette curves was developed by British engineer Dennis Fisher? I think the opening statement of that question probably gives you a big enough clue. If you know the answer to this, you'd have got it with that. Which geometric drawing toy that produces mathematical roulette curves was developed by British engineer Dennis Fisher? Let's see how you go. I remember having one of those. Question 14. Question 14. The peculiar purple pie man was which toy's arch nemesis? The peculiar purple pie man was which toy's arch nemesis? I will be very impressed if you get this one right. It's probably going to be something that if you've got reasonably young children, they may have watched this because it wasn't just toys. Okay, question 15 is for 4 points then. What were the subtitles to the first 4 sequel movies in the Transformers franchise that were released by Hasbro or in collaboration with Hasbro Toys? What were the subtitles of the 4 sequel movies, the first 4 sequel movies in the Transformers franchise that were released by Hasbro Toys? You don't need to put them, you don't need to put them in any order, any particular order, but name the subtitles to those Transformers movies, the first 4 sequels, because they were all Transformers something. But what is that something? Let me know in the comments as well if you have now any requests for repeats of questions. Now's the time to ask. Another thing I want to do is do some Patreon shout outs. Haven't done that in a while. I've seen 5 of you potentially in the chat. In fact, in fairness, I haven't actually looked at the latest list. I don't think there's been any changes this month. But thank you for my support if you are a Patreon of mine. I give shout outs to some of you at random every show. So let's give a shout out to, who should we do? Martin today, especially watching along on your own. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you for your support. And also to Sue with the donuts, and we'll also say to Andy and to Diva and to Gabby. I'm just going to say all of you, really. There are others, and Andy as well. Paul, I know Paul doesn't really watch the Facebook shows. He supports me for other reasons, but give you all a shout out. James as well, if you're out there. Really do appreciate the continued support. It is going to be making a big difference, has been making a big difference, because I should be getting my new laptop technology very soon, which will help me bring much more advanced fun quizzes to everybody in the future. So yeah, I'm going to get it around my birthday, which is in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be great. At least I'm going to start shopping around for it then. I'm going to have to get seek some advice on which one I actually get from people who know more about modern laptop technology than I, because I'm a bit out of touch. My one's a bit old, as I've told you before. But that's going to help me bring much better content, much more improved content. So let's see how it goes. Thank you for all your support over the last year or so. It's been really helpful. Okay, no requests for repeats again. So again, you're really on the ball. You've been paying attention. Here we go with the answers. Let's see how you did. Put your answers in the comments. Question 1. How many dice are rolled in the game of Yahtzee? It is 5. 5 dice in the game of Yahtzee. Question 2. The food item that inspired the video game Pac-Man is pizza. Take a slice of pizza away from a whole pizza. Kind of looks like the same shape as Pac-Man, right? Question 3. What colours are the cook, the scientist and the soldier in Cluedo? They are Mrs. White, Professor Plum and Colonel Mustard. Bonus question while I'm reading this out. Jump in the comments, let me know. Classic pub quiz trivia again. Who is always the murder victim in Cluedo? I asked that not too long ago. See if you remember it. Put that in the comments while I read through the rest of this. Let's see who gets it first. Question 4. Which comes first on the Monopoly board, chance or community chest? It is between Old Kent Road and Whitechapel, community chest. Question 5. Which 2 tiles in Scrabble are worth 8 points? It is the letters J and X. Some guesses have come in for my little bonus question there. I'll get to them when I've gone through all of these and we'll see how you did. Question 6. The phrase back to square one originated from which board game? It is Snakes and Ladders. Question 7. There's a snake in my boot is a phrase spoken by which toy? It is Sheriff Woody from Toy Story. One of my favourite franchises of animated movies, at least. Question 8. In which best-selling video games could you first meet the characters Link, Princess Peach, and Nathan Drake? Link is from The Legend of Zelda. Princess Peach was originally in the Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers game. And Nathan Drake is from the Uncharted series of games. If you don't know Uncharted, it's a bit like Indiana Jones. In fact, it's a lot like Indiana Jones, just a bit more modern. It's just blatantly ripped off from Indiana Jones. It's good fun though. I've played most of them. Question number 9. What nationality is Erno Rubik, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube? It is Hungarian. He's Hungarian. Question 10. Since 1959, Barbie has had relationships with which 2 male dolls? It is Ken, or Ken Carson. You didn't need to get the surname for a point there. The other one was Blaine. Blaine Gordon. Again, first names only is fine. Ken and Blaine for 2 points. Question 11. What colour was the original Play-Doh? Red, white or blue? It was white. Question 12. Which 3 board games were marketed as the game that ties you up in knots, a game of global domination, and a game of unspeakable fun? It is Twister, Risk, and Taboo. Question 13. Which geometric drawing toy produces mathematical roulette curves and was developed by Dennis Fisher, the British engineer? It was called Spirograph. Question 14. Was number 10 worth 2 points? Yes, it was worth 2 points. Don't know if I accidentally said 3 there. I did mean 2 points. 1 point for each. Right, question 14. The peculiar purple pie man was which toy's arch nemesis? It is Strawberry Shortcake. I'm sure Abby watched it when she was little, really little. Question 15. What are the subtitles of the 4 sequel movies, or the first 4 sequel movies in the Transformers franchise that were released by Hasbro Toys? We have Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, The Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Night. That's K-N-I-G-H-T, that kind of night. The answer to number 2, was pizza. Right, let's go back through and see what you said for that question. Eric says, what about Captain Black? I think Captain Black is from Captain Scarlet. But I also like Captain Scarlet. That was a cool show. Mr. Black, Catherine guesses. No. Dr. Black, Tracy guesses. Yes, just the 2 of us. It is Dr. Black. Is always the murder victim in the game of Cluedo. In Clue, in the American version of the game, he's called Mr. Body. So yes, there we go. Team scores are coming in then. Post those in the comments. The Donuts have got themselves 19 points. Great score. I realise we've flown through the quiz and we finished in almost about an hour. That's pretty good going. It must be because I'm really hot and bothered here. I need to get some air, I think. Oh, we've got then Blackpool Bastards have got 18 points. Diva, not her specialist subject, 7 points. Good effort though. 15 points for Britzillians. 14 for Luke and Jane, well done. 11 for Let's Get Quizzical. 8 for Emily, good effort, well done. Fantastic 4, I've got 20 like the last. You liked that round, good. Yeah, I think it's a fun round. I've got a few different ones like that, so we might do more of those in the future. Anyone who is a Patreon member, by the way, you can request subjects for future Facebook Live quizzes and any other quizzes I post anywhere else. Don't forget that, please. It is part of what you're paying for. For those at those tiers, please do comment in the Patreon Facebook group about that. Good Evans have got 15 points. The Yaz remix was The Only Way Is Down. Oh dear, Back in Black, 17 points. That's still a good score though, don't worry about it. G-Force not as good as this for this round at 15 points. Again, that's a good score though. Melting Pot got 10. Oops, we obviously need to have more fun. Well, you'll have plenty of that if you carry on joining this quiz, and also consider joining me on my other social media presence across the internet. Link in the description, as they say. Yes, and I'm about to share with you, as soon as we finish the show, an Olympics logo pitch around. So for every Olympic Games that's released, keep the scores coming in, I'll come back to the comments in a moment. For every Olympic Games, they come up with different logos for each of the events. So like, athletics and rowing and all the different events, they've all got different logos with funny little icons for them all. I've captured some of those and put them into a picture round, and you have to work out which sport or event that is from for each one. There's 15 of them, like a normal round would be, and I will reveal the answers as I normally would do by putting them in the comments of the post when I share it in a moment. So make sure you give that a like, because then when I do post the answers in the comments, you'll get a notification of that, okay? And also, everything you do in terms of engaging with anything I post helps out the channel. So liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff, I really appreciate it. Okay, last few comments then before we close off for the night. Gabby's got 16. Glad there weren't too many Monopoly questions. I know, it's so tempting, isn't it, for these kind of quizzes. Sue says, great quiz. Thanks again, Chris. Yeah, Andy's not going to request a Monopoly round then. No. Ju says, off to Tesco's before collecting your son from prom. Oh, wow, I see. Great quiz. Bye, everyone. Really enjoyed the quiz. Thanks so much. Catherine says, hope the frozen face masks work out. Yeah, they're really helpful. Yeah, they don't last long in this heat, but they do help. Do recommend. Yes, thank you for all the comments, guys. It's been great fun as always. Next week is Patreon quiz night. There's still time if you want to join. Just sign up to Patreon in the comments. Starting price of £2. That's it. £2 and you can get this extra quiz, which is more like a game show. It's not really a quiz. It's more like a game show. But it's lots of fun. And yeah, all the links are in the description of the video as always. And Emily says great TikTok quiz too. Thank you for that. Yeah, we're going to try and do those most Tuesdays. It's good fun. It's Family Fortunes. It will probably stick to that because it's good fun for people to engage in the comments with that. And yeah, thanks for the comments. Keep them coming in. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I will see you same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.